pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Have a seat. Citizen input on the agenda item only. Hear none. Go ahead.
Chairman Clausy wishes to announce that today's special public meeting was duly advertised in a local newspaper. We're going to recognize, I don't think Joe is here, Laura's here,
Aye.
from Eckert Siemens, and Darrow representing Concord Public Finance.
Go ahead, Darrell.
Okay.
Good morning, Board. As you know, in connection with the budget impasse, you authorized and directed us to go out and solicit bank proposals to do, a bridge loan or a cash flow loan. There's a summary of the proposals that are before you. The decision was made to go out and secure $5 million in financing capacity. So we sent an RFP to 20 plus banks. 3 banks responded, and we got 3 proposals. They're summarized on page 1. We sent it out in the most flexible manner for the county. This will be sent out as a drawdown loan and prepayable at any time. So really, you use it as you need it, and you pay it off. When and if you can pay it off. It will mature on December 31st, which is the requirement of state law. The other thing we did to keep it the most flexible and get the best terms for the county is we sent it out and let banks, some of the smaller banks, candidly, offer loans. If they couldn't do $5 million, they could offer you loans in increments of $1 million.
How much?
$1 million in increments of $1 million.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So what we got back was, and this worked out well for you, MCS Bank came back with a fixed rate of 1.79%, but they limited their loan to $2 million. And then the other 2 banks that proposed for the full $5 million was Metro Bank and M&T Bank. Metro Bank came back with a variable rate structure of prime minus 0.6%. Today that would be 2.65%, but subject to a cap of $5 million. M&T also came back with a variable rate structure. They did not agree to what we called our event of default. Because of the budget impasse and the need for this loan to mature on December 31st, we asked for a grace period of 60 days beyond the end of the year, that if the budget is not approved and you need to do another tran for next year, we got the first 2 banks, MCS and Metro, to agree to a 60-day no default provision. Interest would still continue to accrue at the stated rate, but it would not be an event of default.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What happened? New administration comes in January. January comes a new administration, and say, God forbid, they're not approving the budget this year. Okay. What are they doing the next year?
You mean what would the county's plan be?
Yeah. Can we put something in place? We can buy.
Yeah, I think the plan.
They can buy more money.
Yes, I think the plan would be that if we get to, let's call it November, mid-November, and there's still no budget, my recommendation would be to put in place a tran for 2016 that is scheduled to close on January the 2nd.
Right. And so we go into the first couple days of our 60-day grace period, and then we put something else in place.
And that would be your, quote, 2016 tran.
Yeah.
And we would also then consider maybe potentially upsizing that. We did $5 million because that was to cover expenses for this year.
Can this paperwork, it's going to affect the next year too, or we have to?
No, you have to do another set of paperwork because you're permitted to take out trans within your then current fiscal year. Okay. Did I answer your question? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, my question.
So the recommendation would be to accept the MCS proposal of 1.79% for the $2 million. And just really in an abundance of caution, we've run numbers with the controller. We believe you'll only need $2 to $3 million to the end of the year. But once you're going through this process and cost, frankly,
yeah, but the question is
you
this,
might as well.
What happened January, February? We don't get the tax to March.
Correct. That's why you'll put.
We're gonna take a bigger tran out in 2016 to cover this
See
one.
what I mean?
Yes, no, absolutely.
We have to put in place something for next year.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, with state law and trans, we couldn't do one tran to go all the way to December of 16. Okay.
The other one will have to be entered into after the new year. Is that correct?
Well, it has to close after the beginning of the year.
Close after that, yeah.
You could could do all the approvals, and frankly, I would recommend you do all the approvals
Before the end of the
prior to the end of the year, so it's ready to close on January 2nd. So you have funds to maybe potentially pay this off, and also,
He has to be conditional. When the money comes, they have to pay the loan.
correct.
You
I'm
understand?
sorry,
It has to be conditional. When the money comes from the state, they have to pay the loan.
yeah, we put that in our RFP, that when
It
the.
has to be, and I'm not signing no paperwork.
Okay, okay,
I want to make sure whenever the money comes, the new administration cannot use that money for something else. We have to pay the loan.
okay.
Well, that would be for the 2016 trend.
Yes, so I'm not signing anything for 2016.
Right, this one here
About
has
2015.
to be
Pay it by the end
satisfied
of
by
the
the
year.
end of this year.
That would be more, and I think that could be worked into a resolution or
It'd be a part of
into
the
the note.
resolution.
That's not necessarily a condition of the bank, but I understand. When the money comes in, the back money comes in.
Well, you
and
don't know.
wanna
You have
put-
3 new people coming, you don't know who they're going to be here.
Right.
And
But-
they say, hey, we have a $10 million deficit. They can lie to the public.
Okay, I think we can
I
document
don't think
that.
that'll be happening in the future.
I think that can be, I'm certain that can be documented.
Well, they gotta pay the loan off the end of the year, so.
Right. And the loan is prepayable anytime without penalty. So again, the recommendation would be to accept the MCS proposal at 1.79% for the $2 million loan, and then do a second loan with Metro Bank in the amount of $3 million up to your full 5 that you wanted. I would think you would use the MCS loan first. You might not even ever get to the Metro, but again, once you're going through the process and the cost, you might as well put it in place for flexibility. I think that's all I have.
Okay, good.
Laura introduced the resolution, among other things, it accepts the MCS proposal for $2 million, and it accepts the Metro Bank in the amount of $3 million, and we would be prepared to close as early as Friday, again, as a drawdown loan. Any questions for me?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go ahead, John.
I'll just introduce myself very quickly. I'm Laura.
Yeah,
As Daryl said, he pretty much summarized the
I thought we
resolution.
was done. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. It also allows you to authorize the notice filing with DCD. So we don't have to seek approval for the TRAN, but we will be signing those documents that you do need to file with them to notify them that you're issuing a TRAN.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Well, in that case, a motion is needed to adopt Resolution R number 105-15 is presented by the solicitor. Resolution of the Northumberland County Commissioners authorizing issuance of a tax and revenue anticipation note series 2015 in the maximum aggregate principal amount of $5 million.
So moved. Second. On the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Old business?
Huh?
Any old business?
Oh, we're done. Anybody? No, nobody. Anything on our old business? New business? Public input?